Hello dear student, we are dealing with bio chapter number 8, how do organisms reproduce. We were studying the different type of asexual reproduction. In this, we have done with fission, fragmentation, regeneration and budding. Today we are going to study vegetative propagation and spore formation. Let us start with vegetative propagation. What is vegetative propagation? Vegetative propagation is a type of asexual reproduction in which the stem, roots, leaves, and buds give rise to new plant. These are also called vegetative parts of the plant. In this diagram, you can see the modified root, stems, leaves, etc. giving rise to new plant. Let us see the various examples of vegetative propagation occurring naturally. Vegetative propagation is a special case as it happens in higher plants, which otherwise have the capacity to reproduce sexually. When a vegetative part of a flowering plant reproduces a new plant, it is called vegetative propagation. Leaf of bryophyllum have notches on the margin. If a leaf is put under the soil, small saplings grow from the notches on the leaf margin. Look at the picture of the bryophyllum. These small plantlets can give rise to new plants in bryophyllum. Some plants produce plantlets along the edges of the leaves. When they reach a certain size, they fall off and grow into new plant. Here the example of cactus is given. Modified stem runners, horizontally stems which grow or run over the solid surface. The terminal bud seed send up new shoot and down new roots from it. For example, strawberries. Rhizomes, modified stems that grow under the soil produce new roots from stem. For example, grasses. Tubers, shorter, thicker stems that produce an eye which is capable of producing a new plant. Look at the picture of potato. You can see an eye from where a new plant is arising. Bulbs, stem covered with modified leaves are also capable of producing a new plant. For example, onions. Food storing roots, roots which are capable of producing a new plant. For example, carrots and beets. Vegetative propagation can also be done artificially. This can be done by humans, and there are various methods of artificial vegetative propagation. The first method, cutting. Pieces of stem cut from parent, kept in water, moist soil or sand will give rise to new roots. For example, many garden plants like money plants can be grown by this method. The second method is grafting. Buds or sections are cut from one plant is attached to another that is already rooted in the soil. Here you can see the diagram where a potted plant is taken and it is being cut down. The other part from other plant is taken and is fitted on it. It is wrapped and waxed. After some time you will see that they grow as a single plant, having the characteristic of both the plant. This technique is used for growing the plants like roses and fruit trees. Layering. A branch of plant is bent over and pinned down into the soil at a node. It is covered over the soil and eventually new roots and shoots develop, useful for the propagation of woody plants. For example, blackberry, gooseberries and jasmine like plants can be grown by this third method of layering. Let us now discuss the fourth artificial method of vegetative propagation. plant tissue culture. This is the fourth artificial vegetative propagation that we are going to discuss here. In tissue culture, new plants are grown by removing the tissue or separating the cell from the growing tip of a plant. The cells are then placed in an artificial medium where they divide rapidly to form number of cells called callus. The callus is transferred to another medium containing hormones for growth and differentiation to form different type of tissues. The plantlets are then placed in the soil so that they can grow into mature plants. Using tissue culture, many plants can be grown from one parent in disease-free conditions. This technique is commonly used for ornamental plants. Advantages of artificial vegetative propagation. The new plants will have exact feature as that of parent plant. Fruit trees grown by grafting bear fruit much earlier. Plant need less attention in their early years. Many plants can grow from just one parent and can get seedless plant. Let us now discuss the next asexual mode of reproduction, that is spore formation. The method of spore formation occur in both unicellular and multicellular organism. This process takes place in plant. In spore formation, the parent plant produces hundreds of reproductive units called spores in its spore case. When the spore case of the plant bursts, these spores travel in air and land on food or soil. Here they germinate and produce new plants. For example, fungi like Rhizopus, Mucor, etc. are examples of spore formation. Look at the picture of spore formation in Rhizopus. You will see the parts of hyphae and stem and the upper part sporangia containing the spores. When the conditions are unfavorable, the hard part of sporangia protect the spore inside it. When the condition becomes favorable, sporangia burst and the spores are released into the air and start germinating. Have you seen the bread lying outside during the rainy season? You will be noticing that the fluffy layer are formed on them. This is the rhizopus, which are developed by spores present in the air on the bread. Therefore, rhizopus are also called bread mold.